Well, I had a really enjoyable week this week. Did something new, had quite a bit of fun along the way, so let's talk about that. Welcome to this week's Table Talk. Hello and welcome to Model Kit Stuff. My name is Jason and this is Table Talk. So we do this every week and we talk about what happened in the week, what's been happening on the model bench, what's coming up and various other bits and pieces. So if you're one of my new subscribers, a massive welcome. Thank you very much for your subscription. I'm sure you're going to find something on the channel that you're interested in. And this is the place to find out what's going on, what the plans are, and all of that sort of stuff. Got a few things to go through this week, and for those of you who have been subscribed for some time, a massive thank you. We are about 3 weeks away from the 3rd anniversary of the channel kicking off, and we were talking about that this week in the live stream, but more about that later on. So yes, let's crack on and talk about what happened this week, because lots went on, and we kicked off the week on Monday with a little look at the CSM figures. And I have to hold my hands up and apologise, because in the video I mentioned a couple of times I'll take some close-up photographs, which I thought I'd done, but what appears to have happened is I've got halfway through editing the video, broken off to do something else, come back to it maybe a day or two later, and forgotten about that. So usually when I edit a video, I try and do it all at the same time. Doesn't always happen with the big build videos, but with the smaller videos I try and do it all at the same time so that everything's in my mind when I'm doing it. That clearly didn't happen with that one, and that was recorded some time ago, and then it's loaded up and created some time ago, so it's just completely left mind. So apologies there wasn't the close-up pictures, but you got the general idea. They're pretty good. They're pretty good, but lack any form of instruction at all, not just on the construction but the painting. So yeah, anyway, that was Monday, and that's how we kicked off our week, and then we moved up onto Wednesday. So Wednesday was the Tamiya half track, a relatively old kit, but as Tamiya goes, not like really ancient. And I'd bought that kit off a mate of mine, so I didn't realise when I bought it. I think I paid 20 quid for it, and that included him sending it to me. I didn't realise that it was aftermarket tracks in there, so it was quite interesting going through that kit. Nice little kit, and I love the figure, painting it on. You know, it opens you up to some diorama inspiration straight away, so really nice. So even though it's getting old, that should be quite a bit of fun to build, and that's the thing about the old Tamiya kits. They're still good, fun to build, tend to have fewer parts, so they're great for the novice and intermediary builder who wants to have a mess around with weathering and doing different things. So, and they're not expensive. So I thought that was a nice little review. But that wasn't the only thing we did on Wednesday. So a couple of weeks ago, Nigel and I had agreed to do the Meet the Creator live. Well, actually, we talked about it months and months ago, but with everything that was going on with Jess at that time, and it was right at the early days of getting that diagnosis, Nigel was concerned about committing to doing it, and only to find that he couldn't do it because of that. So we just left it. And then about 3, maybe 4 weeks ago, Nigel said, "Shall we do this Meet the Creator live?" So I said, "You know what? Yeah, okay. If you're up for it, let's do it." So we'd agreed to do it on the Wednesday. And then Wednesday morning, Nigel drops me a text. Are we doing this Meet the Creator tonight? It totally slipped my mind. So I said, right, yep, okay, up for it. Yeah. I was always, planning that. So that's when I created it on the Wednesday and what have you. And actually, it was a lot of fun. Now, if you've seen the Meet the Creator videos before, you know the format. What I tend to do is email out the questions, some instructions, how to get the video back to me, and then I leave it to you or whoever to make the video, send it to me, then I edit it together. But doing it live, had never done that before, and that just opened up the whole thing. It allowed, even though all the people that have done Meet the Creator videos are creators, some of them had not been actually behind the camera before. And other than one or two who really liked to relax and talk into it, most people have found a bit more formal behind the camera. But when you do it as a live stream, because of the time it takes, there's a tendency to just relax and become a bit more natural. And I think that really came out on the live stream we did. So I really enjoyed that format, and I've had several comments about how it was a really nice video. I mean, Scully, who's done a Meet the Creator video, said, you know what, that you got so much more out of it than the format that we'd done. And as he says, I don't know anyone else that does that. There's a lot of channels that are sort of a little bit insular, and this is all about me and my hobby, and that's fine. It really is fine. I totally get that. And then there's other people that like to do lots and lots of live streams and bring everybody in, and I'm sort of in between. The truth is, live streams take up a lot of your time, and you know that means it's eroding the time when I would be building. So Wednesdays was my modelling night. And so I wasn't modelling when we were live, and I wasn't modelling for nearly an hour after we were live when Nigel and I kept talking. So after the live stream stopped, we were talking about all sorts of stuff, just stayed on camera talking. So one or two people have picked up there's a sort of way we connect and bounce off each other. So it just felt really good. So if you haven't seen the Meet the Creator live, we delve into some of Nigel's background, and that's what Meet the Creator is. It's about understanding that the channel a bit better, usually, because quite often it's a small channel and we're sort of promoting that. It's my way of promoting it, because in the UK we don't do things like shop cards and that sort of stuff. So I basically came up with the idea of inviting people on to talk about their channel as an alternative to, here's a shop card that I got from such and such, as a way of promotion. But when you do someone like Nigel or Peter Oxley, who lots of people know, it's about delving a little bit deeper and going beyond what you normally would see. So we found, I mean, with Peter Oxley, we got to see some of his model builds, which, you know, if you've been watching him more recently, you've probably never seen them. And then with Nigel, you know, we were talking about how did you just get into modelling and that sort of stuff that you don't talk about when you're doing a model build, or where you do, you know, the videos all focus on something. So we managed to delve in a little bit deeper, which was really good fun. Now, open invitation to you. If you are a creator and you haven't done a Meet the Creator, then what I'm going to say to you is drop me an email, modelkitstuff@gmail.com, if you're interested in doing a Meet the Creator, either in the video format or as a live stream. Drop me an email and I'm happy to do it. So it doesn't matter whether you've got 3 subscribers or 303 subscribers. It really doesn't matter. Happy to do it. Happy to whichever format you prefer to do it. And 1 or 2 people perhaps have not done it because they didn't fancy doing the video bit and answering the questions, whereas they might find it a bit more relaxing on the live stream. So yeah, we've not done a Meet the Creator for a while because I ran out of people that were up for doing it. So I don't know, Nigel's might be the last, but I really, really hope not. So if you've not done a Meet the Creator and you'd like to do it as a live stream or a video, drop me an email. We'll sort that out because people genuinely enjoy them. You might get a few more subscribers, and that's what it's all about. It's about sharing the fact that you exist with other people that might not have come across your channel. So, like I say, I really wanted to give back to the younger channels that are finding their feet and need a little bit of exposure. But as you saw with Nigel's modelling bench, with lots and lots of subscribers, we found out some stuff that was new. So yeah, had a lot of fun. And we also talk about the Scharnhorst buddy build a little bit. So let's talk about that then, shall we? So couple of weeks ago, we formally announced what we'd been talking about for a little while, which was to do the Scharnhorst build as a buddy build. And that's because Nigel's very aware that he's not great, even doesn't like finishing models. So big project like that, difficult to finish. And you can see, Bismarck, Titanic, really get into the hull, get it all sorted, loves it, done that bit. Then all you can see is all this photo etch ahead of you, and right, we'll move on to something else then. So the idea is we will help keep each other going and motivated, and we will do some live streams in that mix of doing the builds and compare notes. And I've got a few ideas on what we might do, and I'm sure Nigel has, but all to be fleshed out. But we put a new trailer out because we announced the date yesterday, which came again out of the live stream. We, why don't we launch it on the anniversary of the sinking? Because it'll be 80 years this December. I was planning to launch the build in the winter, so that gives me a date, a start date, and so on the 26th of December, Boxing Day in this country, we'll be launching part 1, which will be the build introduction, and talk about how we're going to tackle it and what's going to get involved. And we might, I don't know, I've not filmed it yet, but we might well talk about what's going to happen with the hull and what my intentions are and so on. So that will come out on Boxing Day, so that's something to look forward to. And we've got a start date for the build. I anticipate, because I'm going to continue to work on it every other week like I do, I anticipate that we are at probably 24 months to build that. So yeah, with a fortnightly video update, but like I say, we'll do some other stuff. All of that to be discussed, but yeah, there was another trailer out there, and it puts it out there that this is going to be a buddy build, and that it's also going to be what the launch date is going to be. So that was another 2 extra videos on my usual weekly. How many videos do I do? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 4 videos. So you had 6 this week. Lucky people, aren't you? So yeah, that's sort of where we got to, and then we had GOTA yesterday. So that was sorting out those massive floats that go on the bottom. And actually, when I was looking at the floats and think, right, I've got to paint this wood effects, it was a bit daunting because they're so large, and you've got to do all four sides. It was a bit daunting, but it actually went all right. It really did. So that was the bit I was most concerned about in that wood painting. But wouldn't you know it, the bit that you think, oh my God, this could be a bit of a nightmare, went well, and the bit that I thought, oh yeah, I've done this loads of times, it won't be a problem, i.e. the propellers. So they're not quite done. So last week I said, oh, they get done in the week. Yeah, well, let me just show you. All we've got left to do is to paint the tips. So I don't know if you can see that on camera or not. It is really dark here this morning. It's what, 7:45 here. And it is really, really dark and miserable and raining, and it's going to be stormy apparently. And that's because it's pretty much the only day this week I've had to go out in the car. Got to go down the motorway. Oh, right. Well, in that case, the weather will be rubbish. So yeah, I've just got to paint the brass tips and then put the decals on it, and we're done. So yeah, after last week, if you remember, I talked about stripping it all off with the masking tape and having to redo them. And I've done laminated wooden propellers loads of times, and these are okay, but they're not as good as my first attempt. How annoying is that? But it is what it is. I'm happy. We're gonna get the brass tips on and varnish them up, and they will be done. They will be done. They probably the brass element will probably get done tonight. This is Friday, so tonight when the premiere is going, I'll probably finish off the propellers then. So yeah, that was this week. Now, during the week, several people have asked me about Telford. Am I going, and so on. Yes, I am. I will be going to Telford on the first day, on the Saturday. I won't be there for both days because the price of hotels around that area at that time is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And so as you come a bit further out to get the price down, I get halfway home, so it's pointless. So I'm just going for the one day. I will be there as soon as they open the doors to members, so that's 9 o'clock. I'll be in. I've nearly finished my list of things that I want to buy, but I have a pot of money to spend. I'm not going to tell you how much that is, but what I'm going to say is that pot of money is made up from purely donations to the channel. So the people that have been donating over the last few weeks who pop in super thanks and that sort of stuff, that's forming a pot of money. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say, right, this is my budget to spend at Telford. What can I get for it? And I'm not going with any preconceived ideas and going, well, yeah, I need to get the best ship I can get. Just going to go around and see what catches my eye. It could be a new kit, could be an old kit. You know, there's always people selling combination of the both. So don't know. Generally, I find buying kits at model shows, it falls into two camps. You can get a bargain, but in real terms, it's only a bargain because you really, really want the kit and you've spotted it. So if it's a kit you've been after for a while and they've got it, doesn't matter what the price is, it's a bargain because you want it. But generally, I find that you're paying full price or overpriced for older kits and retail price or sometimes a little bit less for very new kits. But I don't see it as really the best place to buy kits, in all honesty. So it's very rare that I go to a model show and don't walk out with a kit, having said that. But because something just catches your eye, doesn't it? But I tend to go out with the intention of buying products, glues, thinners, things like that, again, I'm going to pay full price, but I'm not paying shipping. I can handle them and see, is that what I want? So, yeah, that's the plan. Whatever the pot of money is from super thanks and donations and bits and pieces, that will be my budget for a model kit. Obviously, there's stuff I want to buy, and that'll come out of another fund, but that's the plan. So with that in mind, there are some lovely people that made contributions last week, so let's thank them. So if you want to support the channel, there's lots of ways of doing it. Obviously, watching the videos and hitting the like button, that supports the channel. Making comments supports the channel, because when you make a comment, that helps the algorithm and that helps more people to see it. So all of that supports the channel. But this channel is self-funding, and so it relies on largely the revenue that comes in from the adverts. But if you want to contribute so that we can do reviews of all sorts of things, we'll be talking about this in a minute, then I don't do membership, and I don't do buy me a coffee, and I don't do Patreon. So the way to support the channel is either through Super Chat on a Friday or through Super Thanks at the bottom of any of the videos. So most of my Super Thanks tends to come when this video comes out, the Table Talk video, but you can do it on any of my videos. So if you watch a video and you really enjoyed it and you think, you know what, that was worth a pound of anyone's money, that hour, I really enjoyed it, or you learn something, you think, actually, that's really handy, that's something I didn't know, then, you know, you've got that option. If you want to say thank you, you can do that. And if you do that, if you hit Super Thanks or you hit Super Chat, then I will give you a shout out right here in Table Talk, which we're about to do now. So this week, massive thank you to Captain Charlemagne, who gave quite a sizable donation. Thank you very much, sir. It's greatly appreciated. And you now know what it's going into. It's going into the Telford pot. And Captain Charlemagne has a channel, so you should go and check that out. He does his shipbuilding. Really nice guy, got a really nice channel, still finding his groove, because it's a fairly young channel, but clearly enjoys what he does, and yeah, definitely worth catching up. Plastic Monkey, Paul, again, thank you so much for your contribution. Really appreciate it. And obviously Plastic Monkey has a channel, chucks out loads of videos, does a huge amount of Revell kits. So I don't do many Revell kits for all sorts of reasons, but Paul does lots and lots of them, and he tends to do some of the more complex stuff as well. And what you've got to do is watch the video, because the video might say, oh yeah, we're building this Thunderbolt or whatever it is, but it'll also show you some of the other things he's working on, because he's never working on just one thing at a time. So it makes you have to watch the video. So yeah, do go and catch Plastic Monkey's channel if you've not gone and seen it. Loads of stuff on there, loads of stuff. And a massive thank you to Jeff72, long-time supporter of the channel. He's always in the live chat on a Friday night. Thank you very much, sir. You know where it's going. Thank you for your contribution. Yeah, so if you want to support the channel and make sure that the cameras have something to film and we have something to talk about, then you now know how to do that. Thank you very much. And you can also visit the merchandise store, again, at the bottom of every video. If you click on the little banner with items on, that'll take you to the larger shop where you can mess around. There's lots of things in there. You can buy hoodies, t-shirts, some really nice aprons. You can change the colour, you can scale the badge sizes to make them as you want. It's all customizable to a point. Quality is really good. All the garments are made in Germany. It all ships out of Germany, actually. So yeah, the products I'm happy with. I've bought a few just to, well, I've got a few just to make sure that I'm happy with the quality, and I am. So there you go. That's how you support the channel. Thank you very much. But now, going back to Telford, because I nearly forgot to say this. My plan is, and I've not actually checked, but I can't believe that Airfix won't be there. My plan is to, at 2 o'clock, be at the Airfix stand for a meet and greet. And the reason why I'm picking that is, it's usually one of the biggest stands there. It's bright red, so it's easy to spot. So if you've never been to Telford before, you will find it. And it's usually in a corner where there's a big space. There's the tables opposite to it where they're doing the Airfix build thing. And there's also the sort of the refreshment area sort of to the side of it as well. So there's a bit of a big space there, and it's where a lot of people meet and congregate. So I'll be there. I'll be in this hoodie, so I'll be easy to spot. So you're most welcome to say hello to me as you see me going around. I'll be there with my daughter Daisy. We will be filming. We'll be seeing what we can get for our budget. I've got some people that I want to visit and buy some gear from. And then if you spot me and want to say hello, then you're most welcome to. And if you're, and then if you're not sure how to find me because it gets quite crowded, then 2 o'clock at the Airfix stand, I'll be there, and you're most welcome to come along and say hello. It would be lovely to meet and put faces to many of the names that I see every week. So yeah, so Telford is on. That's the plan. Now, I was asked a question, and I can't remember whether it was on the live stream with Nigel on Wednesday or someone put it in the comments around that, or might have been even the live stream before, asked me what was coming up next. Well, the way to find out is to watch this, because we always talk about it. So, Queen Mary 2, that has to be done by Christmas Day. So that's going to focus my mind. And we'll be working on Queen Mary 2 this weekend. And I'm getting a little bit of extra modelling time, hopefully next week. So for a couple of different reasons. So I'm hoping to really blitz her next week. Then obviously we've got Scharnhorst, and so that's me ship build stream taken care of for the next couple of years. What's coming after Scharnhorst? Not a clue. I have no idea. What I will want to do is change it up. So it could be 1350 Arc Royal, which I'm itching to get into. I don't know. I really don't know, and I probably won't be thinking about that intentionally for a good 18 months, because what happens is, as soon as I've decided that I'm building it, I start thinking about it, and then the one that I'm building becomes almost a chore, like, oh, I've got to do this before I can get to that I've got all excited about, so I don't want to think about it. So, really don't know. GOTA for you guys is coming to an end. For me, as you know, is all but finished. So I've already started on the next thing, which is this here. So yeah, it's going really, really well. We're trying to get it to a point where we can do the painting. So yeah, and if I flip it over, you can see some of the landing gear's gone in. Fit is beautiful. Model has gone together really, really nicely. Done something a little bit different on this one, something I've not done before, which I've seen Nigel talking about, and I sort of gone, yeah, but I've got my method. But I've done some gap filling using super glue, and I'm actually persuaded. So we'll talk about that in the build. So yeah, that's going really quite nicely. I've got enough material for the first video, but you won't see that until the ferret is done. So I've edited another ferret video, and we have at least enough for one final video. So the next ferret video will see me take you all the way up to the point where we're ready to paint. And then the last video will be painting and weathering and done. So it's going to end up as 5 videos, I think. When I originally thought it was going to be 3, but there you go. So this is what you will see coming out when the goater is finished, and you'll see a combination of this and ferret, and then we'll have another Queen Mary 2. I've got about enough material for 2/3 of a video, so after this weekend there'll be another Queen Mary 2 video we can slot in, which will just push that a little bit further down the line. So it'll be Queen Mary, ferret, then that. So the ferret's been really handy to put a little wedge into my builds and extend that a little bit. So after that, we all know it's the subscriber picked build, which is the Matchbox 2 little French tanks on a little diorama in one. Is it 176, 172? Can't remember. 176, isn't it? So that's going to then happen. And in that, we're going to be focusing on the painting and the weathering and just having a bit of fun with that, I think. Then I want to do another sort of quick build. Now, if you go back a year plus, I did the Mini Art tractor. The blue one with the red metal wheels, not the tired one. And that was a lot of fun. It was a real lot of fun. I really enjoyed that build because it was complex, but it was a small enough build to you can move through it quite quickly. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. So a little while ago, Mini Art brought out these Tempos, these little 3-wheeler wagons. And I think this is one of the more recent releases. And then Jeff Donahue at Jeff Donahue's Modelling channel, he built one a little while ago, and I really enjoyed watching the build and thought, you know what, it's basically a motorbike with a back end, and anyone from the UK knows about Reliant Cars and famous three-wheel manufacturer. So I've really fancied getting stuck into one of those. So after the Matchbox build, this is what we're going to build. Now it comes with 5 options, and all of them are really cool. It's got some pre-war versions and then some during the war versions. So you've got a police one that's black, a postal one that's red and black, which I would, if I'd not done the fire engine, because it's exactly the same colour scheme, I'd have done the postal wagon because I'm a bit of a sucker for red. But actually, there's a grey one, and then there's a white all over one, so like this but white all over, and then there's this one at the front, which is white and red, and it really looks nice. So guess which one I'm doing? Yep, we'll be doing the one from the box cover, which is a shame because I prefer the decals on the police one actually. Police one's got really cool decals, and the postal service one. So, you know, you can just feel me bang another one, can't you? Anyway, gonna do that. There is a bit of scratch building involved in that with pipework and stuff. And this is, I'm now not saying 100% this is what we're gonna do, but this is where my mind is right now. I'm thinking of doing it as a bit of a barn find. So, lots of weathering, it's got dusty, it's rotted a little bit. We might put a few dents in it, have the bonnet up so you can see all the engine, have that dusty, maybe a broken pipe or something like that. Just like it's been sort of scurried away in a garage or something and forgotten about for a few years. And, you know, I think that'll be a lot of fun. It's small enough to do that and have a bit of fun with it. So yeah, that's sort of where my head is. Now when I come to build it, which might not be now until early in next year, I might have completely changed my mind and might want to put it on my big Famo street diorama, because that would be something quite cool to have on there. But my gut feel is do it as a little barn find, and I might then do a little base for it and stuff. But I might want to just move on to yet another small build, because by that point we're into Scharnhorst and what have you, and that when you've got a major build going on, you want some light relief. So yeah, that's what's coming up, the tempo. Now I realise I've not done a first impressions of this, so we'll film a first impressions of that as well. and probably do a first impressions the week before we start it or something like that. So yeah, I did say, I can't remember if it was last week, the week before, I did say I'm not buying anything more till I go to Telford. Well, that didn't work because I bought a new tool. Now this cost me £5.99. I'm just having a play with it at the moment, and when I've had a play and got my head around it, I will do a tool review. You might be wondering what it is. I've only seen these on eBay. So £5.99 shipped. I've only seen them on eBay. And when I saw it, I thought, you know what? I know what that is. So I had a look around, thought I'd be clever. Thought I'd find it even cheaper. Because if I take it and put it together, you can see that it's effectively like a calligraphy pen. So I had a look around at calligraphy pens. In the UK, we've got somewhere called The Works that does arts and crafts stuff, sort of low-grade stuff on a budget, but they can have some one or two handy things, like I just upgraded my palettes for £1 each and that sort of stuff. But you can't get a calligraphy pen as cheap as this. And actually, this has got a very, very fine nib. You could also look for map pens as well, but you won't find them as cheap as this. So what is it? Well, it's for doing pin washers, so panel lining. So like I said, I had a little bit of a play with water. I mean, at school I had one of these where you put a cartridge in, a fountain pen, and you have that flow of ink. This is slightly different. You dip it in and then draw it. So I haven't done it yet. I've only messed around with water to see how the flow works and stuff. But and I have put it in some panel lines on this just to see how it would work, and it seems to work. So I think we'll probably use it on this in anger for the first time and get an understanding of it, and then you'll have a tool review of it. But I thought for £6, it's worth trying, isn't it? Bit of a sucker for a new tool, me. So yeah, so what happened on the modelling bench this week? Well, we were doing a little bit of the wings. Didn't do any Queen Mary 2. I chose to jump ahead on that. So we chugged away at that, but we did also do the GMC truck, which is actually, the 7th video you had this week? I'd forgotten about that. So on Thursday, the GMC truck update. And that pretty much gets you up to date to where I am. So this weekend, Saturday morning, I will be doing more GMC truck, and then I'll be hopping onto Queen Mary 2 for the rest of my modelling time over the weekend. So that's the plan. I want to really blitz the Queen Mary 2. So yeah, that's sort of what we did on the bench. I can't think of anything else really. So what's coming up in the week ahead? Well, on Monday we've got a book review. So the same series as the Buccaneer one that we did recently, but this time focused on the 124 Spitfire. I'm guessing some people have probably already reviewed it, because that's been out for a little while now, hasn't it? Got a review of that, so that's interesting. If you've got that 124 kit, definitely worth catching that. Then on the Wednesday, the first impressions video is a ship, the Trumpeter HMS Westminster. So a relatively small 1350 kit that took me by surprise, so that's worth catching as well. Thursday, I'm hoping to have an update on the GMC truck. May or may not, depends on how much I get done. But I've basically got to finish the gun and build up the wheels, and then we're ready for painting. But the wheels notoriously have a step in them. And Nigel mentioned to me what his plan was to sort that out. Now, I can do the same thing that Nigel can, but I suspect most other people can't, because most plastic modelers don't have a lathe. Now, I do. I have a wood turning lathe, which I use for my thinning down my spars and masts on my wooden ships. So, because most people don't have a lathe, what I might do is show you how to turn your power tool, your Proxon or Dremel or whatever it is you've got, into a lathe, so that you can sort out this issue with the wheels. So so it might be a bigger update, and it might not be this week, it might be the week after. All depends on how we get going. So really interesting. You can do all sorts of things with power tools if you just think about them, and I think some people get them and they just use it for putting in a drill bit or putting in a milling bit, and don't think about the fact that actually this essentially works the same as a lathe if you set it up right. We'll be having a look at that and seeing if we can make that work for a start. It depends on the construction of the wheel, which I've not really looked at. But having said that, that's sort of my intention. So we may have that on Thursday, we may not. Friday will be Ferret Part 4, which we've already talked about. We'll get you up to the painting, and then we're back to table talk. That should be a lot of fun. No point showing you the garden. It looks no different to last week, other than wetter. So I think that is probably us done for this week. Right now, you know exactly what I'm working on in the near future, and when I'm not doing that, I'm starting my Christmas shopping and thinking about that. So I've got some of that under the go. I guess we've got Black Friday coming up soon. I usually ignore it. There's not really any deals, so I just get my Christmas shopping done. I order it all online these days. It gets delivered, it goes in the attic, ready for wrapping. Nice and easy. The difficult bit is I've got children that don't know what they want, because their lives are so complete. There's nothing that they need. Getting nothing's easy, innit? Is what I tell them. So that's it for now. So I'm looking forward to Telford. I'm gearing up for that. We're just a few weeks away, not many. I'm looking forward to meeting some of you guys there. I hope you're enjoying what's happening on the channel and enjoying that. And I hope you enjoyed the live stream with Nigel. We will be having more live streams as we go through this Scharnhorst build, so there's lots more to look out for. So a massive thank you to all of you for joining me today, for following the channel, for the comments, the likes and what have you. It makes this real fun for me. I enjoy it because of you guys. So thank you very much. You enjoy your modelling, and think about what you're going to put in the subscriber special this year. We'll talk about that next week, because it's that time when you need to start thinking about, right, what model do we want to share? All right, I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye for now.